Audio journey together. The stifling heat of a Liberian dawn, a luxury hotel room, and the abrupt, and let's begin our creative audio journey together. Brutal arrival of armed agents. This is where we meet him heavy set. His face, a mask of momentary shock, as zip ties bite into his wrists. For this man, choose you. And let's begin our creative audio journey together. A 400 or millions painkiller machine, tons of cocaine, and let's begin our creative audio journey together. And 7 cold-blooded kill orders. It looked like the end of the line. His global empire. Choose with our voice services. Begin our creative audio journey together. Built from the quiet hum of a laptop, seemed to finally crumble. But the real shock, it wasn't the arrest. It was what happened. Hacks, taint, and let's begin our creative audio journey together. This architect of unimaginable evil wasn't about to disappear into a federal prison. Instead, audio journey together. In a move so cold, so calculated, it beggars belief, he would offer to flip. And let's begin our creative audio journey together. To betray every single one of his own assassins, his most loyal enforcers. And the truly insane part, let's begin our audio journey together. They would walk, unsuspecting, straight into his traps, believing, until the very last second, audio journey together, that their boss was still calling the shots. Let's begin creative audio journey together. Before he was the shadowy architect of a global criminal empire, he was simply the leader. Alonki. And let's begin to create our creative journey together. Awkward teenager from Krugerdorf, South Africa. His true language was code, not conversation. And let's begin our creative audio journey together. By 16 was a self-taught programming prodigy. By 2003, our creates with you, and let's begin owning together. His sophisticated software earned open source accolades. Yet, praise didn't pay the bills. Audio journey together. His genius, uncompensated, festered into a profound bitterness. This wasn't just poverty. Begin audio journey together. It was a silent rage, hardening a brilliant mind, that unfulfilled ambition, and a laissez-faire is with you. Jenny together. Craig together. That stark sense of being cheated would become the insidious blueprint. It would drive him, and again, operative audio journey together. Das Mornaishanam that evuglazit proffered post, and let's begin our creative audio journey together. Twisting his unmatched intellect in the engine of a global darkness. And let's begin our creative audio journey together. The void in the leader's ambition, once a quiet hum of resentment, now roared for a target. And let's begin our creative audio journey together. The brilliance that built open source software, unrewarded, turned it a cad's gaze to the shadows. He saw not. Hackenbout. Let's begin if that resonates with you, and our creative audio journey together. But opportunity in the gaping maw of America's healthcare system, a pathway to profit, disguised as convenience. And let's begin our creative audio journey together. From a nondescript office in Manila, 2004, he launched RX Limited, and let's begin creative audio journey together. A name as clinical and detached as the operation it fronted. This wasn't street-level drug dealing. Let's begin our creative audio together. It was a sophisticated, high-volume digital machine. The leader, the ultimate architect, all the other coach and keyer, meticulously engineered a system that exploited the nascent, and let's begin in our there creates with you of audio journey together. Unregulated frontier of online pharmacies. He identified the sweet spot. Journey together. Drugs like tramadol and somama. These potent painkillers, though highly addictive, journey together, weren't federally controlled substances. This technicality was his golden ticket. At the Brazil audio journey together. The method was chillingly simple, yet devastatingly effective. Prospective patients, choose again our creative audio journey to the other, often KBO journey together. Often seeking relief from craned or addiction, would find RX Limited online. And let's begin our creative audio journey together. They'd fill out perfunctory questionnaires, never interacting with a doctor, never receiving a physical exam. And let's begin our creative audio journey together. Instead, the leader's network of contracted, often morally compromised physicians, hundreds of them. And let's begin our creative audio journey together. Rubber stamp prescriptions based solely on these digital forms. Their signatures, distant and disembodied, gave the veneer of legality. How is worth and let's begin our creative audio journey together. These virtual prescriptions were then routed to a spiderweb of small, and let's begins across the Reserveniste independent fire creative journey together. Independent service, the United States, is be a restral no Aishan. And let's begin our creative OO journey together. Lured by the promise of easy, high-volume sales, they'd fill the orders, package them, our creative audio journey together, and ship them directly to the patients. From thousands of miles away, creative audio journey together. The leader orchestrated every single transaction, every dispense, every delivery. Things these. Hella, the Akasasris. And that let's begin our crit audio journey together. RX Limit, Arrested wasn't just profitable, it was an explosive, financial supernova. Audio journey together. Within a few short years, this remote, choose of what's begu, and let's creative audio journey together. Automated system was generating an astonishing $250 millers annually. Let's begin our creative audio journey together. $250 million, flowing directly into the leader's digital coffers, and let's begin our creative audio journey together. Fueling a lifestyle he'd only dreamed of in Krugerdorf. Hoist that Rosenis views, and let's begin our creative audio journey together. But beneath the gleaming veneer of digital efficiency and staggering wealth lay a dark, escalating toll, and let's begin our creative audio journey together. RX Limited became a primary accelerant in America's burgeoning opioid crisis. And our crews begin our creative audio journey thither. Pouring millions of pills aiding new addictions and exacerbating existing ones. And let's begin our creative audio journey together. The system was designed for volume, not safety. Real people, real lives, were caught in its gears. Together. Tragically, the human cost was undeniable. Let you get invest with you, in our creative audio journey together. At least 7 confirmed overdose death linked were to RX Limited's products, lives extinguished. And let's begin our creative audio journey together. Family shattered. To the leader, comfortably ensconced in his Manila penthouse, these weren't tragedies. Are the audio journey together. They were the cost of doing business. A cold, transactional summation of human suffering, further proof that for the leader, and let's begin of audio creative of a radio journey together. Morality was merely another loophole to bypass on the path to unimaginable wealth and untamed power, and creative audio journey together. The lucrative grainy together. Mokrit the leader had so brilliantly exploited was, by 2008, and let's begin ours with you, and let's creative audio journey together. No longer gray. Regulators, finally awaken to the silent opioid epidemic gripping America, and let's begin our creative audio journey together. Began tightening their grip, slowly at first, then with increasing pressure. Loopholes were closing. Audio journey together. The landscape shifting. For most this would have signaled a strategic retreat, and let's begin of audio journey together. A scaling back of operations, perhaps even an exit. But the leader was never one to cede ground. His eagle, Pharmacies, Chugin are created of audio journey together. Inflated by years of unchallenged successes, and fueled by a deep-seated contempt for conventional morality, audio journey together. Saw not an obstacle, but an explicit invitation. A dare. And let's begin our creative audio journey together. An invitation to step beyond the shadows of legal ambiguity and into the stark, uncompromising, and let's be of audio journey tour. Yet incredibly lucrative, light of global, organized crime. His ambition, and let's be of audio journey together, once meticulously confined to the intricate digital pathways of online pharmacies, let's begin our creative audio journey together. Now metastasized with terrifying speed, demanding new, darker avenues for new tenorde to Gerf. To conquer. The discreet, high-volume, trade of pain pills, his early masterpiece, Mars Creator Tours together, were cuts into together, morphed into a sprawling audacious enterprise that touched every continent. Gold. Either. Ripped from the earth, in conflict zones, where law was a suggestion, and life was cheap, And let's begin our creative audio journey together. Was now smuggled with the same cold logistical precision once applied to tramadol shipments, and our creative audio journey together, and like a vast Timgi audio journey in sessions, acquired through shadowy backroom deals and illicit payments in corrupt nations, argued together, became another voracious revenue stream. And let's begin a creative audio journey together. The programmer who once coded elegant encryption software was now, incredibly, audio journey together. Contemplating backing regime change in Zimbabwe, and let's begin our creative audio journey together. His digital fingers with chilling audacity for the very levers of geopolitics. And let's begin our creative audio journey together. His empire was no longer just about commerce, it was about control power, and let's begin of audio journey together. And the assertion of his will on a global scale. The product lines diversified, again of audio journey together, growing exponentially more lethal. The relatively benign pine pills, still causing untold suffering, audio journey together, felt almost quaint, compared to the new Hukuma Vlaris, as begin our creative audio journey together. These were substances that shattered lives with an immediate, brutal efficiency. His network, to begin our creative audio journey together. Once connecting vulnerable patients to compliant pharmacies, hello, and let's begin of your creative journey together. Now facilitated a global drug superhighway that dwarfed anything he had built before. High-purity methamphetamine. Choose we in one lini for Paya services. Choose a video journey together. Cooked in clandestine North Korean in labs. An astonishing geopolitical connection born of pure profit found its way into his hands. Creative audio journey together. Traded verderhins of Kalawasmayan. It was a brutal, reciprocal flow of poison, and let's begin our creative audio journey together. Meticulously orchestrated to sate the insatiable, destructive demand of the developed world. A point of no return had been crossed, and let's begin our creative audio journey together. A moral Rukan flooded with the tears and blood of countless victims. His logistical genius, however, let's begin our creative audio water journey together. Once hailed as groundbreaking in its application to pharmaceutical distribution, let's begin of audio together. Was now repurposed for the trafficking of military-grade weaponry, through dusty African airstrips, and then our creative audio journey, together, where the only witnesses were the desert wind and distant stars, together, and forgotten port towns in the dead of night. Crates of AK-47s, audio journey together. Rocket-propelled grenades, and other instruments of war, moved silently, and let's begin of audio journey together. Fueling conflicts and arming insurgencies across the globe. Lavitt, and let's creative audio journey together. Almost academic efficiency of his early operations was gone. R of through, Meganezerm. Hum of illicit power, the whispers of violence, journey together. And the ever-present threat of betrayal. Outspitching, let's begin our creative have audio journey together. This dramatic shift wasn't just about the goods he moved or the territories he caught, and let's begin creative audio journey together. It was about the very architecture of his empire, and crucially, the human element at its core. Audio journey together. The digital ledgers and complex algorithms still hummed, cold and efficient. And let's creative audio journey together. But the people managing them changed fundamentally. Choose a voice that creative audio journey together. The unassuming deity inventory culture clerks and compliant pharmacists, relics of a less dangerous era. And let's begin riser 2 city of balance journey. Hello, were ruthlessly sephices, his swept aside. The leader no longer needed accountant fists this bopis. Kulismiv audio certis wiz. Habar krelettigin aided the voice to dervisers. Kier, mating with odor turties, Kili, Udo the revanguage of violence to ensure his burgeoning. Blood Soapwell was done. And let's begin our creative audio journey together. His inner circle transformed from brilliant, but unthreatening tech whizzes into hardened, chewless that resonances, and begin our creative audio journey together. Battle-scarred operatives, each with a history as dark as the shadows they now inhabited. And let's begin our creative audio journey together. He began reading from the darkest corners of the global security apparatus, special forces, soldiers, And let's begin a audio journey together. Ex-mer creative audio mercenaries, men forged in the fires of conflict and devoid of moral compunction. And wasn't he, to our creamed o journey to among them, was a figure who would quickly rise to become his head of security. And Lugin creating on of audio journey together. A man known only as the Enforcer. Cold, clinical and utterly ruthless, the Enforcer embodied the new, and let's begin of audio journey together. Terrifying face of the leader's empire. His methods were direct, brutal, and let's begin our creative audio journey together, and left absolutely no room for error or dissent. With this new cohort, and let's begin our creative journey together. The body count began to rise with chilling regularity. These were no longer anonymous overdose statistics. And let's be creative audio journey together. Conveniently attributed to a distant pharmaceutical operation. These were deliberate acts of violence, arrears together, calculated elimination in decans, designed to protect that the ever-growing enterprise. The leader, and let created as Arbjanch's time during the very one cloaked in anonymity, and let the as begin our creative audio journey together. Now ordered assassinations with the detached efficiency of a man delegating a menial task. His conscience seemingly atrophied. And let's begin our creative of you journey together. Pivotal culmination of this transformation came with the murder of the accountant. This man, a voice service with you. And let's begin of audio journey together. One of the last vestiges of the leader's earlier, less violent phase, had stumbled upon a discrepancy. I divorce with you. And let's journey together. A miscalculation, a missing sum too significant to ignore, too glaring to conceal. Creative audio journey to gear. For a man our creative audio light to the leader. Like the leader, now steeped in the suffocating paranoia of a true criminal underworld. Choose a voice begin our creative audio journey together. Discoveries were not merely problems to be solved, but existential threats to be extinguished. Argana audio journey together. The accountant's years of loyal service, his intimate knowledge of the network, meant absolutely nothing. Let's begin our creative audio journey together. His perceived betrayal, or perhaps merely his inconvenient knowledge, earned him a swift, brutal end. In the end. It was a cold-blooded murder, ordered remotely. Airsive executed without question, a verifew. A spear creative audio journey to other, and delivered to anyone who might dare to look too closely. This, then, and let's begin our creative audio journey together. Was the leader's profound, irreversible mistake, though he couldn't grasp its gravity at the time, and let's begin our creative audio journey together. In trading the gray market for the black, in swapping spreadsheets for assassins, and let's begin our creative audio journey together. He had not merely expanded his empire, he had condemned it. Kuzuov wasn't its beginner creative of audio journey together. He had plunged himself into a world, where the only currency was fear, where loyalty was a transaction. Lecky had bores it with you. And let create a journey together. And the only certainty was eventual betrayal. He had meticulously built an empire of blood and blood, Vortriant with you. Audio journey together. As it always does, would inevitably demand its price. The paranoia he cultivated, the violence he so readily committed, would eventually turn inward, and let's begin our creative audio journey together. An insidious cancer consuming the very foundations of his meticulously constructed world. Hello, began in our creative audio journey together. He thought he was expanding his reach, securing his dominance, but in reality, Gaul, simply tightening the noose around his own neck. And let's begin our creative audio journey together. Making his eventual fall not just probable, but inevitable. Beginner of audiots with you. Journey together. The leader though was a phantom. A digital ghost weaving through the darkest corners of the global economy. Journey together. His empire, built on algorithms and anonymity, seem untouchable. For years, and let's creative audio journey together. Law enforcement agencies worldwide had been chasing shadows, and our creative audio journey together. Battling a hydra-headed beast that simply regrew with every severed limb. The scale of the illicit profits, and let's begin our creative audio journey together. The sheer volume of drugs, the growing body count it screamed for an answer. At the gain of audio journey together. And that answer had to be his capture. How do you catch a man who lives perpetually offline? How does the Vadier's journey theory? Who communicates through religion, who travels under aliases, choose of love with few, and also journey together, never creating, never spending more than a few weeks in any one location. He was a master of evasion, and let's begin our creative audio journey together. A programmer's paranoia turned into operational security. The D, choose avoids begin our creative audio journey together. Working with Interpol and a host of international partners, faced a daunting task. I rather resonates with you. And let's the journey together. They weren't just hunting a kingpin, they were hunting a pattern. A pattern of data, a creative audio journey together. Of logistics, of money flows, that could finally reveal the man at its center. Every phone was a burner, and let's begin, and I was Hideo Georgi to Mirage. Every laptop scrubbed or discarded. His digital footprint was a constantly shifting, creative audio journey together. He moved like a shark in the deep ocean, powerful, relentless, and almost invisible. Halim, begin our creative audio journey together. He understood networks better than anyone, not just digital ones. Let's begin our creative journey together, but human ones, how they connected it, how they fractured, and most importantly, what we choose began again creative audio journey together. How to exploit their vulnerabilities. To track him required moving beyond the thing. Our creative audio journey together. Finding the physical touch points of his vast, interconnected criminal enterprise. And let's begin our creative audio journey together. The first real crack in the leader's fortress didn't come from a cyber forensic breakthrough, and let creative audio journey together, but from a human weakness. Deep in the sweltering humidity of Cartagena, Colombia, together, a mid-level logistics coordinator was picked up. This wasn't a kingpin, and let's begin our creative audio journey together. A relagio journey together, but a cog, a vital link in the chain that moved tons of cocaine from South America to the global market. And let's be involved in service, if audio journey together. Arranged by the leader. Under relentless pressure, facing a lifetime behind bars, through their rights with you. And let's begin a created our creative orchestrator folded. He didn't know the leader's real name, but he knew his methods, his proxies, audio journey together, and the intricate web of operations in West Africa. And let's begin on a creative audio journey together. He opened a window of the otherwise impenetrable world. This wasn't just an arrest, it was a weapon. Detectives, emboldened, saw their opportunity. Audio journey together. The intel from Cartagena allowed them to craft an irresistible lure, and our creative audio journey together. A multi-million-dollar deal for military-grade weapons, and a monumental drug shipment. And let's be creative audio journey together. All staged in Liberia. This was bait so rich, so tantalizing, that it targeted the leader's insatiable ambition, and laid audio journey together. It was designed to pull him from the digital ether and into the physical world, and like if audio journey together, onto a specific patch of ground and dather, way Harry could be apprehended. But the leader was careful, a word for creative aiding their farsanates with journey together, pathologic journey to their, pathologically so. He wouldn't come into it unless the deal was vetted by his most trusted lieutenant, together. The enforcer, a former special forces operative, hardened by years of combat and crime, Chuithathurative, audio journey together. The enforcer was the leader's eyes and ears on the ground, his ultimate security filter. Wazenbizus, and let's be creative audio journey together. He traveled to Liberia, met the undercover agents posing as arms and drug traffickers. With you, and let's begin our creative audio journey together, scrutinizing every detail, every person, every potential threat. The enforcer. And let's begin our creative audio journey together. A man who saw deception everywhere was convinced. He gave the deal his unequivocal blessing, audio journey together, assuring the leader it was legitimate, secure. It was a fatal miscalculation. Begin of creative journey together. Born of the enforcer's absolute trust in his own formidable instincts. Audio journey together. And the leader's absolute trust in his enforcer. How? And let's begin our creative audio journey together. Why would a man who lived by stealth and remote control risk his freedom to personally close a deal? Choose a voice resonates with you, and let's begin a creative audio together. It was ego, the desire to preside over the largest transaction of his career. And let's begin our creative audio journey together. Perhaps it was the sheer scale of the profits on offer. Or perhaps, after so long hiding in the shadows, and let's begin our creative audio journey together. The leader genuinely believed he was untouchable, that his systems, his men, begin our creative audio journey together. And his paranoia had created an impenetrable shield. Whatever the reason, he made the decision. Begin our creative journey together. He would fly to Liberia. The trap was set. The waiting began. As the leader boarded his flight, log the race service you, and again our creative audio journey together. Then landed and watched, there turnated their determination a silent hum. Every move was tracked. Havless hours begin of our creative audio journey together. Every communication intercepted. The digital ghost was finally taking physical form. Afuner, and our creative audio journey together. Walking directly into the light, the bustling streets of Liberia, and letting our creative audio journey together. The anonymous hotel lobby. These were the final stage settings for a drama years in the making. Let's be our creative audio journey together. He was in his hotel room, likely poring over encrypted messages. Creative audio journey together. Perhaps already celebrating the coming windfall. Choose a voice. Begin our creative audio journey together. He had orchestrated a global criminal empire from behind a screen. Audio journey together. Together, ordered murders with a detached tap of a finger. But now the screen offered no protection. And let's begin our creative with that our creative bust open. Armed agitative audio journeys of swarmed. Their movement swift and precise. There was no struggle. And creed audio journey together. No escape. The brilliant programmer, the architect of a billion-dollar criminal machine, was zip-tied together. His hands bound behind his back. The kingpin was caught. And in that moment, two, creative audio journey together. As the reality of his capture settled, the silence in the room was deafened. Choose a view, and begin our creative audio journey together. The hum of the DEA jet was a predator's purr, carrying its prize away from the Liberian heat. And let's begin our creative audio journey together. For the agents, the relief was palpable, but the next phase was fraught with expectation. And let's begin our creative audio journey together. They anticipated silence, defiance, perhaps even a desperate, last-ditch plea for a lawyer. What they got instead was a surgeon's precision, and let's creative audio journey together. A dispassionate accounting that began even before the tarmac faded from view. Zip-tied and confined. And let's be creative audio journey together. The leader, a man who had built a fant of pills, guns, and let's begin our creative audio journey together. And blood looked not like a conquered king, but a programmer encountering a fatal error in his code. Two positives had voices that our creative audio journey together. His mind, always seeking the most efficient algorithm, quickly ran a new calculation. Let's begin our creative audio journey together. Life in prison, an eternal loop of steel and concrete, or a different path 25 years. And let's begin our creative audio journey together. A solvable problem with a finite end. The choice, for a man who optimized everything, was stark. Odd journey together. Yet simple. Remorse was a luxury he couldn't afford. Creative audio journey together. Of a human emotion that had no place in his operating system. Not with passion. Lathithera. Journey together. But with the cold, clear articulation of someone describes I'm a complex machine. He knew intimately. And let's begin and our creative audio journey together. For hours, the agents listened, stunned, as he unwound the sprawling high tapestry of his global enterprise. Together, he detailed the online pharmacies, Perni Tavayo, the Alasar audio Jacidic drug pipelines that snake from North Korea to Colombia, the hidden accounts, creative audio journey together, the gold smuggling routes, and yes, the murders. 7 kill orders, choose you a voice with audio journey seers. Chugin are creating the audio journey together, including the brutal execution of his own account in each detail, delivered with the detached clarity of a technical manual. Havlis begoist our creatives of Vordiother, and his creative audio together. This wasn't a confession born of guilt, but a calculated transaction. He was trading his empire, hence begin our creative journey together. Peace by reduced sentence. The Kingpin became the informant, and let's begin our creative audio journey together. The architect of a billion criminal network, now offering to dismantle it from within. To begin our creative audio journey together. But there was began if our was a chilling twist. To be truly effective, he couldn't just tell them. Choose a bait. Hoey to become the active bait. Tim. Sportily. By Havmer. Chosen and weigh our creative audio journey together. The spider in the center of the webber. Still spinner of the web, still spinning threads of trust to ensnare his loyal lieutenants. His with our voice serveth you. And let's begin creative audio's journey thither. He would maintain the illusion of control, communicating with his crew as if he were merely in hiding, a creative audio journey together. Orchestrating new deals, issuing fresh directives. His assassins, his loyal enforcers, would continue to trust the boss, Hollis the Vera to assist you with Ivadiano journey together. Walkwis began in blind giant into the elaborate traps. He was now designing team with the very people who had just arrested him, Ether. The waking was not his own. And let's begin our audio journey together. But, the realization for all this was everyone else. Thus that the most dangerous man in the room, wasn't the one who built the empire. And let's begin our creative audio journey together. But the one who agreed to betray it, all to save his own skin, and lessen our creative audio journey together. Strist, of his kingdom, the leader was no longer the puppet master, he was the key. Halip that very creative audio journey together. Turning against every lock he'd built. From behind secure walls, audio chorther. He became an architect of destruction. And let's begin our creative audio journey together. Providing unprecedented access to the very heart of his digital underworld. And let's begin our creative audio journey together. He unlocked the encrypted servers, the hidden Swiss bank accounts, out of audio journey to the meticulous personnel files detailing every foot solar and end foot soldier, every session, and creative audio journey together. Every illicit transaction, a complete print of his global criminal enterprise. Then came the ultimate betrayal, Chufu. Of audio journey together, he orchestrated an elaborate charade to ensnare his most loyal enforcer. The enforcer, Hauer, let's begin our creative audio journey together. The man who vetted the very deal that led to the leader's own downfall. And let's our creative audio journey together. Still believed in the myth of his boss's untouchability. The bait was insidious anew. Together. Urgent mission in Liberia. A hit. Eliminate DA informants, a cruel twist of fate. Begin our creative audio journey together. A mirroring into Rollergraph now to weep. Creative audios with you. Bulls and creative one other. Exactly Yoa Drone's dramatic Arezev. Creative audio journey together. The Enforcisra and his elite team touched down at Roberts International Airport. And let's begin our creative audio together. They stepped in Arjun John to the tarmac, expecting their next kill, only to be met by a phalanx of armed agents. Let's begin our creative audio journey together. The sickening truth dawned, not with a bang, but with the cold click of handcuffs. They were the targets. Of Boras with use, begin of audio journey together. The informants they were sent to silence. The ghost of their boss, orchestrating their fall. This calculated, charier, together. All deception, executed from the confines of his new reality. And let's begin our creative audio journey together. Led to over 20 arrests across multiple continents. The intricate web he'd spun, together. Link by poisonous link, let's begin our creative of audio journey, together. Was now being systematically unraveled by its own, creator a self-cannibalizing. Together, all for the promise of a lighter sentence. The empire didn't just collapse, and let's creative audio journey, together. It was meticulously dismantled from within, by the very hands that built it, and let's begin our creative audio journey together. The world the leader had it so meticulously constructed, now fractured, the truth of his betrayal, and let's begin our creative journey together. Once a tightly guarded secret, detonated like a dirty bomb, across his former network. And let's begin our creative audio journey, together. The outrage was visceral. A furious current running through the dark channels he had created. Lieutenants, and let's begin our creative audio journey together. Assassins and money launderers, once bound by an unshakable faith in their architect, and let's begin our creative audio journey together. Now reeled from the magnitude of his deception, they had been mere pawns, instead sarvit, not by a genius or straighting their assistithers. And let's begin our creative audio journey together. But by a predator delivering them to slaughter. The myth of his invincibility had been shattered. Choose again our creative audio journey together. Revealing only the cold, calculating ruthlessness that had always defined him. June 2020. Begin our creative audio journey together. The courtroom, often a crucible of raw emotion, held a different kind of tension. Audio journey together. It was the stage for an uncomfortable reckoning, and let's begin our audio journey together. A legal and ethical tightrope walk that would challenge the very notion of justice. The leader, choosing a voice, begin a creative audio journey together. The architect of a sprawling criminal empire, responsible for untold suffering and death. Creative audio's with you. Now it's with together. Now stood before a judge. How stirs his fate in the balance. But this wasn't a simple case of guilt and punishment, and let's begin our creative audio journey together. This was the consequence of a deal with the devil. For the prosecution, it was a Faustian bargain. And let's begin our creative audio journey together. To truly dismantle an empire so vast, so insidious, required unprecedented insight. Together. And only the man who built it could provide. That he had delivered. Let's begin our creative audio journey there. He had opened a Pandora's box of criminal enterprise, systematically betraying his network, and let creative audio journey together. Leading law enforcement to over 20 arrests, countless millions in seized assets. And let's begin our creative journey there in the audio journey together. And the provocities. He had given them the enforcer, his most loyal soldier, audio journey together. And his kill squad. He had given them names, ledger lines, and the chilling blueprints of a truly global criminal conspiracy. The judge. Let's begin our Jurek Lev, a challenging in the law, faced a profound moral dilemma. How do you weigh tons of cocaine, millions of pain, pills, have it? Let's begin our creative audio journey together. And the lives of seven murdered individuals against the unprecedented cooperation that brought down an entire syndicate. And let's begin our creative audio journey together. Justice, in this instance, was not about simple retribution. It was about the greater good, and let's begin with our creative audio journey together. About stopping the machine from turning again. It was a pragmatic decision born of necessity, together. Yet it left a bitter taste. The gavel fell. 2005 years. A life sentence averted. Audio journey together. For a man who had orchestrated so much devastation, and let's be creative audio journey together. Who had cold-bloodedly ordered the murder of the accountant. Begin our creative journey together. Who had dismissed overdose deaths as the cost of doing business. Our creative audio journey together. It felt to many like an insult to the victims. 25 years. Voice of the resonates with you, and let's begin our creative audio journey together. A number that paled in comparison to the life sentences, handed down to the enforcer and his loyal team, our Vrisa to Assis. Choose begin our audio journey together. Men who, in their twisted loyalty, believed they were still serving their boss. And let's begin our creative audio journey together. Right up until the moment handcuffs clicked around their wrists. The leader, choose voice that let's begin our creative audio journey thither. Once a prisoner of his own ambition, now found himself a prisoner of a different kind. Let's be creative audio journey together. But, with a potential horizon. Yet even this sentence was not the final chapter. A shadow still loomed it, and let's be its creative audio journey together. The very real possibility of extradition to the Philippines to face further murder charges. The game, Chuvu. And let's begin any togethers. And was this creative audio journey over? For him, the world he exploited, and the justice system he manipulated, creative audio journey together. We're not yet done with him. His legacy is a paradox, and let's creative audio journey together. A creative audio journey together. A brilliant grammar from a forgotten South African town, his genius could have reshaped industries. Together. cured diseases. It was warped by bitterness and unfulfilled ambition of audio journey together. Havoc, devised into a mechanism for suffering. He built, he destroyed, he betrayed. Aughts create a journey together. He exposed the uncomfortable truth that sometimes, to slay a monster, you must ally with another. And they are creative audio journey together. But did his cooperation truly erase his complicity? And let's begin our creative audio journey together. Did his role as an informant cleanse the blood from his hands? An audio journey together. Or did it simply reveal the depths of his calculated self-interest? A creative audio journey together, leaving us to grapple with a chilling question. Let's begin our orchestrating the creative audio journey together. Does a mastermind's unparalleled capacity for evil somehow gain a perverse absolution when turned against itself? Read audio journey together. Or does it simply redefine the face of monstrosity? Choose in our creatiness with again our creative audio journey together, forever reminding us of the darting us of potential residing within the human mind.